I've never done any of the normal booktubey stuff. I do reviews and stuff, and I completely just fell off last May because work started up again, which sucked, but also at the same time, I mean, the numbers of infections were going down, and then obviously the powers that be can't do anything correctly. The numbers went back up, and the winter sucked, so I didn't feel like doing anything. However, years ago, after I graduated from uni, I moved to Spain, and in doing so I had to leave all my stuff behind, and I left all my books and all my phones, just basically everything I owned, with my mum, who, will say kindly, stored them, but didn't store them well, so they're all mixed up. So bit by bit, now that I have an entire flat to myself, I've been getting them, and I'm slowly building up again. I have plans, but not the actual ability to go and do it, of getting a bookcase, just because they're not expensive, but I have extreme buyer's guilt every single time I buy anything. So it's a work in progress. I might just make my own bookcase. So this is, I guess, a haul. However, it's not a haul from any subscription service or a store. This is my haul. This is like my stuff. And what I do is I go to my mum's, I go up into the attic, I just kind of lurch whatever I can, fit it in a bag, and then take it home. And I usually don't pay attention to what I get. They're boxes, and there are bags of books, and I just lump whatever, because eventually I will get all of them. It just takes some time. My Goodreads, weirdly enough, has been really, really good. I've been on a great year so far. So far I've covered Blood Meridian, Watchmen, Moby Dick, Batman Year 100, Regeneration, Beloved. What else have I covered? What's around me that I've done? I got back into the Dresden stuff, which I was amazed that I think Stormfront as a book still holds up really well. What else have I done? I've done a few others, but the goal in my Goodreads this year is 70, and I'm looking forward to not managing it. But it's cool. I'm so stoked to find stuff I love again. But a friend of mine, she reads more, I'd say, contemporary books, like a lot of fantasy, a lot of YA, a lot of sci-fi, but stuff that tracks on Goodreads and does track on BookTube. So I asked her to give me 2, and she gave me, this is upside down, The Empress of Salt and Fortune, which I've started, and I can't really give anything on it because I'm only on page like 16, so the inciting incident hasn't happened yet. And I saw this blowing up ages ago, The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind, and the tag is not giving me much hope. It says, like Alias but meets X-Men. So 2 things I hate off the bat, because X-Men comics are kind of my bag, but I know for a fact that she's meaning the X-Men films, which I fucking hate, because Bryan Singer's a monster. So, let's see what I picked up this time. First, Daniel Deronda, which is cool because I'm still working through Middlemarch, so another George Eliot. That'll bring in the views. They love Daniel Deronda. What else? This might work actually. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I've never actually read it. I think this was my girlfriend at the time. Yeah, it was, because I love this. I'm gonna have to show it later. She underlined all the stuff when we were studying in uni, and she actually uses those tabs. I don't highlight anything. I just kind of. Oh, this is great. She's even got notes. I love this. This is also a good reason why you should always buy second-hand, because you get to know the person a little more. In fact, I'll show you. I'll give you an example. So this was bought when I was at university. It's The Life of Columbus by, I think it's Washington Irving. I think it is. Yeah, it's Washington Irving. Also, an ex bought. She just left all her stuff with me. But look, it was a gift from all the way back in 1945, which I think is really quite sweet. I personally wouldn't give a book away that was a present, but I just got a good text. But still, it's nice. I think not so much recycling, passing it on, because this is old as hell, and I like that now that I've got hold of it. I will never know Uncle George or James Cole, but their work still is, not their work, but their book is still going to be appreciated, because I will get round to reading it. So that's nice. The Bloody Chamber, I think, let's find out. Yeah, this is my copy, and we had to read this for university in first year. I really enjoyed it, and I'll enjoy a reread. I think it might have been, I think The Bloody Chamber, off the top of my head. No, this is hers. This is hers one. Because it's underlined again. Wonderful. I really love the characterization of Bluebeard in this. Roald Dahl's pornos that he wrote, Switch Bitch. I've never actually read the Roald Dahl porno. I've been told they're very funny. This also isn't mine, so this will be a first for me. The Ways of White Folks by Langston Hughes. This wasn't a set text for us to read in university, at least in the modules I did, so this may have been something to do with like literature and race. I'm not entirely sure. I did literature and medicine, and it was well worth it because we got to read Blindness, which is possibly the best book ever read. Okay, what else? It's a good unhaul. I wish I had like a weird promo code or an ad to let people about that helps the channel fall 12 subs. There we go. Simon Armitage, Out of Blue. This is a book on poetry, so chances are I will not read this. I might get this as a present actually. It's because I have a friend that loves poetry. This is a good one. Wizard of the Nile. This was very of its time. So the Coney 2012 meme is about Joseph Coney, and this is about a journalist that tried to track him down years before the 2012 stuff, and it's not the best book on it, but it's actually a really good introduction to it. And the reason I've got it is because the university, which is the University of Aberdeen, they sent every New English student a copy of this, which is pretty tight actually. That must have been well over, I don't know, 200 students. And you were meant to read it before you started, and I gave it a go, but I don't think I actually finished it until I got to university. Got a really good one here. Alistair Gray, probably considered the best Scottish author, and here we can see how far I got into it. We were meant to read it for a class. I read most of it, and then kind of fell off for it. Also, amazing little bookmark. Off the top of my head, you can see it. This was an art exhibition I went to. Must have been 2015, 2016. A lady by the name of Jenny Wilson. She had these lovely little business cards. She does really great feminine art. I think the title of this one was Lady Garden, which is brilliant. But Lanark's a wonderful book. It treads many different genres. It's part autobiography. It's also part fantasy. It's written in this very strange way. There's multiple ways of reading it. It starts off, for example, like on book 3, and then goes to prologue, then book 1. So it's out of order, but importantly out of order. It includes like dragons, but also includes like horrible wealth disparity in Scotland. So it's great. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. I wonder if I've got anything else. I've got 3 left. Friedrich Nietzsche, Birth of Tragedy. This is definitely mine. Once again, I didn't get all the way through it all those years ago, and I at some point must have been in the music department because there's an old promo for the Pirates of Penzance. God, this was a long time ago. But Nietzsche, even if you don't flex with his philosophical work, he's still an interesting writer. He's certainly a good writer. He's just not for everybody. He actually reminds me of brutalist architecture, and I will enjoy going through this again because I have Beyond Good and Evil back in my room, which is very good. What's this? This I don't think was either of our books. This might have been... Yeah, this is very much who the hell's Simon Surreyler? Simon Surreyler. I think this is a detective book. Yeah, Detective Chief Superintendent. He has to be qualified. Yeah, I don't know how we got hold of this, but we moved into a flat and there was loads of books in there. Mostly religious books, but it must have been this one as well. I might give this a go. I love trying just offhand stuff. I like that we found this. I found an autobiography in the street a couple of days ago, and it's not really the kind of thing I'd be into, but I like finding odd little books. So this might be the next one to actually review. And finish it off with, I think, Nick Cave's debut novel. I'm not entirely sure, but I picked this up years and years ago because I'm a massive fan of big Nick Cave. 1989. Yeah, this is his first novel. The Death of Bunny Munro was the second novel, and that was in 2009, so it's a 20-year leap. This was great. When I first read this was powerfully good. This is like a very dirty, grimy Appalachian Western, and it's wonderfully religious. It's got these insane characters that live basically in a world that you wouldn't want to be in. People say that books are escapism. I don't think I always agree with that idea. But when the ass saw the angel, oh, incredible! Really, really quite a terrifying book as well. And it's classed as deep Southern goth tragedy, and it definitely is. So that was nice. That's a good haul. I think my hauls would be good. I certainly wouldn't pay a subscription fee for them, but you would get a nice range of things. So I'm going to try and do these more often. I'm definitely going to try and get in touch with J.D. Wilson, get more of this art, because these are wonderful little business cards. And that's me. Thank you.